Hey, how you doing? This is John Leschuk with Second Moonshot, and I do custom framing, some eBay, Etsy selling on some of the frames that I sell, and some other stuff from a while back. I have a couple YouTube videos that I've done in the past on some shipping, and this will continue on the theme, kind of rehashing maybe a couple that I was looking at this morning that I thought could have been done a little bit better. And we'll kind of go through those. What I'll be doing today is I got a couple shipments going out today. So one will be just an album, a comic book, which will go in a Gemini mailer with a couple additional tweaks just for protection, and just a regular book. It's a signed book that was, not huge value, but nice signed book for Christmas. And let's see. One of the things that we'll be doing is, while we have one comic book with the Gemini mailer, the album and the book are going to be essentially just coming from cardboard stock. Now you could, go get free boxes. People post them on Craigslist all the time. But another, just going to show you, one of the things that I do now is I don't really go looking for the used boxes. You can take a look at these sheets here, but these are just big cardboard sheets. If you go to like Uline, they sell them for between $1 to $2 for one of these sheets. We have a Costco membership where we do a lot of our grocery buying, and Costco has these sheets between layers on the pallets, between layers of the products, and I just get a big dolly, push it around. My wife does her grocery shopping, and I come back with 40 or 50 of these sheets, and I've probably got a couple hundred stockpiled, and probably half of the things that I ship, especially pictures, are all custom-made boxes. And so the shipping pictures is something I'll do in a future video. I've got a pretty good technique, having looked out there, but we won't be doing that today. So I actually started with a couple of pieces that were cut from a sheet just like this. All right, so what are some of the tools? I think I got everything. I usually, hopefully I didn't forget anything, but I think I got everything. There's a couple straight edges. I tend to find just a regular, 36-inch or 40-inch ruler, especially for cutting those long sheets, to be quite handy. And I use an angle iron that just helps me, cut square lines really quickly. And while this is technically a pen, it actually doesn't work, but I just use the tip to kind of just do some quick markings on it. Sometimes I'll use a Sharpie, depends. I've got a utility knife. This one's actually the Milwaukee, and you could probably think that utility knives are all the same, but the Milwaukee it's probably the Cadillac of utility knives, just for that. Pretty important for me is the bone tool, to use to crease the cardboard so that you can bend it nice and cleanly. A couple of tape. I've got kind of some eBay tape and just some clear tape. I tend to not overdo the eBay branding, so typically any eBay shipped item will probably only have one strip of eBay tape. I probably won't even label it eBay after I get through the tape that I've got. And then I've got a glue gun. I did another review on that. I use it a lot, and I get the sticks now in bulk in boxes of 200 or so, but we'll be using that today, so I'll go ahead and start heating it up. And shrink wrap. Now there's other ways that you can do it, but I'll show you how I use that, because the technique that I'm going to use on a couple items on the album and the book, there's some potential that, if it rained or something, or someone left it out in the rain, that water could get in it. Probably true for any box. However, the boxes that I'm going to create here are going to be a lot stronger than you'll probably get in anything else. And but I do put some additional wrapping to protect it. Now I'll use the shrink wrap because I buy it in bulk and it's cheap, but you can use it as bags or whatever else that you want to do. So we're going to start off with the easy item first, and so this is the Gemini mailer that we've got for comic books. The reason I use the Gemini mailers for comic books, I sell comic books anywhere between $1,000+ to $5, but they all get the Gemini mailer. The cost on them is pretty steep, probably over $1 a piece, but serious collectors, pretty much, mandate or heavily request for you to use it. Quite honestly, that's fine. I get them in the largest discount that I can. The Gemini mailers, you fold it like this. You're going to put your comic book in it. Typically, you just stick your comic book in it and fold it, and the comic book may rattle around. Some of the YouTubes had put tape, painter's tape on it to kind of secure it, but if you notice, these are relatively thin, and I usually I got a box of, a couple hundred of these square sheets that I cut from scrap cardboard. I don't buy these, but I just put the comic book between it, and because I want to just provide some additional moisture protection, I'll use the shrink wrap, kind of just seal it up and give it some water protection out of that. So what's going to happen is that this is also going to create an incredibly rigid surface. I don't even put do not bend, because it's almost impossible to bend these things once they're all put together. And then you just fold it up in here, do your typical folding, and it doesn't really add that much weight to it. I think the single comic will come out at 8 ounces once I get that done. Now there's my one eBay branded tape. Now what I'm going to do next is a little bit of, you might say, overkill, but sometimes, depending on conditions, might be outside or something, sometimes this tape will release. And I haven't had it happen in shipping before, but I've had it sitting down waiting to be sent out, and sometimes I'll go look at it. So just out of paranoia, then I'll just take some clear tape. I'll just run a streak around it and just kind of keep that, so if in case anything popped open, this book's not coming out. So that's enough tape. Let me just get my scale, see how close I was on the weight. So it should be under 8 ounces if I did it correctly, because I already printed the label out. And what we've got is 6.1 ounces. So even if you didn't do the cardboard, it still wasn't going to be under 4 ounces, so it didn't really make any difference. And we'll put the label on there, and that package is ready to go. You can't bend it. I mean, it's virtually impossible to bend the thing, so I don't even put the do not bend labels on it, because it won't make any difference whatsoever. All right, so the next item that we're going to do is going to be the book. Now, I already did cut a couple pieces of cardboard strips out of here, so I'm going to kind of circumvent one of the steps. But so we've got 2 strips of cardboard that we cut. Now, since this is the book that we're going to be doing, I simply cut it the width of the book, exact width of the book, and just make sure you got enough for double the length plus the sides to fold it over. And then the other sheet is going to be, I usually just take the width, the longest side, and add 1 inch to it. Now you want to do the narrowest side first, and you'll see why at the end. It just provides a little bit better protection by doing the longest side first. Now I still like to put some additional protection, and this is just more probably specific to me and my shop, but typically I'll put all books, I'll wrap them in paper, relatively simple, nothing tremendously complex here. Customers seem to like it, they feel I went the extra mile to do that, so I'll just tape that up. Go with this, got my little insert that I always include with it again, using my shrink wrap, just some stretch wrap, not shrink wrap. Kind of wrap that, so that'll keep any moisture from getting in there. Nice and easy. In fact, probably 2 cents worth of stretch wrap was used in that exercise. Okay, so the next step, I've actually gotten a little bit more efficient. A lot of used to do it with a whole lot of things, but usually I just put the book right in the place here on the end, do a crease with the bone tool, fold it over, do another crease with the bone tool, fold it over, do another crease with the bone tool, fold it over, and do a last crease with the bone tool, fold that over, and maybe cut off a little bit of the excess. Anything I can do to save a little bit of weight, as long as it doesn't compromise. So that's done. Take our glue gun and just kind of put a strip of glue on there, fold that over, boom. I usually don't even tape this one here. It's not going anywhere, and even if the glue came out, it wouldn't make any difference whatsoever. Okay, so next is we're going to do this box, the outside. Fold that, the excess. There, and there. The lines a little bit better. Okay, and then that's going to be here. Now, this is the one we had here, but what we want to do is we want to put that down here so that it doesn't fall out. And we'll just stick that down on here. And we'll fold it over, do the glue here. Boom, boom. Wrap that here. That's pretty good here. And again, I'll do one straight. And this doesn't technically do anything because it is glued, but it does keep it till the glue's dries. I just tape it there, then I don't have to worry about some separation on there. I spent a little bit more time, but it lined it perfectly because I'm going through this pretty quickly. So gonna bear with me on that. And I'll put the shipping label on this guy here. Now, this works pretty much with any rectangular item, the exact same technique. What I like about this is, you got the space, it's got a lot of corner protection in there, and it's got 2 layers of cardboard on the front and the back as well. So, I mean, you don't need to do any additional padding, or I've never had a damage on this using this technique before on any item that I've ever shipped using it. So I use this whenever possible because it's so easy and generally provides some great protection on that. So, and they look good. I do that. So we're going to do the album, which is identical. So we'll grab the album over here. Drop my label. My label there. Now the album, research. It's in a bag, and the bag is sealed, so I taped it up. I usually put the original inner sleeve inside and use a new sleeve, and I think I get the covers from Big Fudge off Amazon or something. So there's the album, and we've got that here. Now we'll do a little bit more care maybe on this one than the quick folding method I used on the other one. And this is where I'll just take my pen. Typically I know the width because it's a single album, so it's probably about 1/2 of an inch. I'll do this one, mark that here, mark another 1/2 inch. And if it's a little bit too big, that's okay. I usually just, we'll throw a piece of cardboard in there. And this is where the square comes in handy. So I can do my quick lines here, here, and here. Done. Okay. The album will go right in there. Again, that probably could use a little spacer. I'll just grab a little piece of cardboard that I have here. Cut that down a little bit. And we're just going to insert that in there, just give it a little bit of extra precision for that. So that's all good. That's good. Cut off the excess here. And apply our glue. Okay, so that's the inside one. That's all sealed. Take that. Okay, so this one again is this is I think for an album. So this is a 12.5 inch wide because that's the width and length of the album. Then the open ends will go like this, and this one here will be about an inch wider than it was. So that'll go here. Again, we'll do our mark. We do a slightly bigger right here. Do our mark. Slightly bigger over here. And we'll do our creases with the bone tool. Here and here. This one here. And here. Cut off the excess. All right. And again, put our glue here. Make sure that the open ends obviously are on the inside. Here. Usually if it's a bigger box, I'll throw a little glue in here just to secure it up. There. There. Nice and tight. And again, it's not going to bend. So I don't even put do not bend stickers on it because the box is so rigid. Just kind of tape on there just so it seals it while it's drying. I usually don't do it around because I've got the glue on there. And we put our label on there. And that's that package. So, grab those. So, using pretty much, I mean, even the Gemini mailer is based on the same concept, although it's a single sheet of cardboard. So I've just kind of taken it, done it to something that I can generate pretty quickly. So that looks good. Customers like it when they get it. Feel like a lot of care went into the packaging, and the reality is, if I did a box or even a mailer, you know, what I paid $0 for, I'm able to, you know, save 50 cents to $1 on the packaging on these things. So, but Gemini mailers, I like that because the comic books often, especially if they're higher value, the serious collectors appreciate on what you put into it. Really like that front and back backing on it. And I've never had a comic book that came in damaged with that. So hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, I do a lot of custom picture framing and selling specialized picture frames, like vintage ads and artwork that I framed as well, and sell those. And so I ship pictures quite a bit, up to 30 by 40 inches, so pretty large pictures. And over the last 3 years, I've really found some really good techniques that I think are rock solid, using a lot of the tools, the glue guns and the big sheets, to do that. And I'll go over that probably in the next month or two, and that's it. So did move into a new warehouse from some of the storage units, so we've got about 1,875 square feet here. About a third of it is used for custom framing, a third of it is used for all the eBay stock and shipping, and a third of it is used for me playing with stuff, cars and other things that I'll do around the shop. So that's about it. Thank you. And these are all one take, so I don't do any editing, so this is pretty much it. But take care.